As Texas Republicans work to redraw the congressional map in an effort to secure 5 more seats in the U.S. House, Texas Democrats are doing what they can to fight back. Today, a group of state representatives traveled to California and Illinois to meet with governors and state leaders there. Representative Donna Howard from Austin is on that trip. She just got out of a meeting. We see her driving down the road there. Representative Howard, thank you.
I'm not driving. I'm not driving.
Riding down the road. There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking some time out to talk with us.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit, first and foremost, about the goal of this trip.
Well, I think it's pretty clear to many of us, anyway, that this is unprecedented with Trump coming in and knowing that he is not in a favorable position right now, that he is more than likely to lose seats in the midterm elections. And so rather than be accountable for the policies that he's put in place that have made him so unpopular, he is coming in and wanting to change the lines of the districts in order to cheat, basically, and get more Republicans into Congress to help keep him in place. We came to Illinois, in my case, because we are talking with governors and states who we want to make sure that they understand the significance of this beyond the state of Texas. This is a national issue. It's not going to stop in Texas. This is where we have a power grab going on, where you don't like what the voters are telling you that they want, and so we'll just change the lines so that you can't vote the way that will express your true desire here based on accountability. So we want to make sure that we're talking with others who are going to have the same kind of impacts in their states, and look at what we can do, all the different tools that we might be able to use to try to stop this. And also at the same time, how we're going to address the issues of the policy changes that are creating huge problems for people in our districts who no longer are going to have access to health care, who no longer are going to have access to food, those that are in food insecurity. It's just an egregious situation, and we are doing all we can to make sure that we are working together on this as a nation.
Yeah, referencing the one big beautiful bill there. Representative Howard, I have to ask you, we all know that gerrymandering happens. I think, for so long, though, it's been something that it happens, but we don't necessarily talk about it. This seems to be open gerrymandering. And we have heard that if Texas does it, California is threatening to do it in the reverse and get more Democrats and less Republicans. Are you concerned at all about what this really means for our democracy?
Well, you make a good point there, Ashley. What we're talking about here is having some fair rules in place that we all follow. And yeah, politics is always going to be inserted into drawing the lines. There's no question about that. But we can have a process in place that brings all the different stakeholders to the table and make sure that we have the most fair maps possible so that every person can exercise their right to vote and choose the representatives that best reflect their values. That's really what the bottom line is here. But unfortunately, what we see happening here is beyond what we normally think of with gerrymandering. We currently have our current maps are already in litigation. We have a court system that we can go through. We have a process. We have rules that we all follow. What's happening here is that Trump is coming in and saying, I'm not going to follow any rules. I'm just going to create my own situation here. I'm going to create my own rules. I'm just going to change everything because I don't like what I think the outcome is going to be. That is basically cheating, and that is nothing like what we are normally experiencing when we draw lines. Yeah. So this is really unprecedented and going beyond what any of us would have expected.
We, of course, want to point out the House is not in session today. So this is not, if people are not familiar with the process, you all did not break quorum. You all are not going to be fined. You didn't break any rules by leaving to go have these meetings today.
No, thank you for pointing that out. Absolutely. We are not in session today. We are working. We are working every day. In fact, some of my colleagues that are with me on this trip have redistricting hearings tomorrow in Houston, that they're going to be back there working with their constituents in Houston. I'm sure that most of the Republicans are not at the Capitol today either. It is not a day of session. This has nothing to do with with shirking our duties. Has nothing to do with any kind of a quorum break. This is us doing our job to represent our constituents and taking advantage of the fact that today we do not have session and we are flying to different states in order to try to make sure that people understand that this is not just affecting Texas, but this is going to affect our entire nation.
Yeah. Representative Donna Howard from Austin, we thank you for taking some time out to talk with us. Of course, we'll see you when you get back home.
Thanks, Ashley.